I sleep with 4 pillows.
I
have 2 pillows for sure.
Oh,
I do double stack.
I heard the more pillows you have in your bed, the lonelier you are. And I have like fucking 30. None of them are like animal shaped, but
I used to love a good body pillow.
Those are
the shit. You have one in between your legs and you got it on your head, dude. You're good.
Dude, I'm double fucking body pillowed up. Dude, either side because I roll a lot.
Okay,
so I have a lever on both sides.
Kind of packed in there.
Yeah, I really am.
Dude.
It's kind of
having a pillow orgy up in there.
I have 2 pillows on the opposite side of the bed that no one uses that just sit there like a ghost girlfriend, and then I have 2
phantom girlfriend.
Yeah, then I have 2 bodies that I roll back and forth on. That's embarrassing. Delete this, Jim. I'm gonna be lonely the rest of my life.
I have 4 memory foam pillows. One of them is kind of a neck pillow for my head, and then the other 3 like ankles, knees, shoulders.
Yeah, knees and ankles is a good one. You know what I saw? I don't know if it was TikTok. I'm getting way too much of my life information from TikTok, but some dude,
Kelsey,
so it really is good though.
We're doing a new TikTok hack with like some kind of cleaning solution.
No, there's good shit. There's really good shit.
There's
out
some
there.
good shit on there.
If you get in the right algorithm and not the weird like fucking just people dancing, someone made a cube pillow. I've had an idea to make a pillow.
I've seen
my
that.
entire fucking life.
I've seen the cube
Because
pillow.
if you have some shoulders,
it
looks legit. He's like, what angle is this? Like, why are we sleeping on weird thin ovals? I'm like, you're right. I'm always sleeping like cockeyed, or I'll use like
not good for the spine.
I'll do like 3 pillows to like prop myself up.
I do 2 to kind of make up for that.
Yeah, but if you have a cube that's semi-stiff, I also don't mind stiff beds. Like
that's that little nook in your
perfectly.
Neck, your ear to the shoulder.
The idea I've had, and then I saw someone did it, but they just marketed shittily, is like if you have some shoulders on you, where do you put your arms? And I know there's we should have a chiro on one time to talk about, maybe not even chiro because they're all fucking misinformation everywhere.
I got like 10 chiro friends, so we don't have any shortage of that.
Yeah, we have some too, but everyone has a different opinion because it's not like so science based. Like the best position to sleep in.
Yeah,
I grew up with a chiro because I've always had back pain, and she said on your side, body pillow between your legs.
Yeah, that's basically what I do with multiple pillows.
Yeah, me too. But some say on your back now, or whatever. Either way,
I used to be a big side sleeper, but now I'm a straight up back sleeper now.
I'm
I don't know
trying
what happened. I changed.
I try to go back sleep, and it does help my back.
To the side.
Yeah, but if you're on your side and you have some shoulders on you, where do you put your arm? Because that shit always falls asleep.
Oh, dude, I used to have that big problem with that. I would wake up in the middle of the night just panicking, just swinging my arm. Is this ever going to come back?
Yeah.
Is my feeling ever going to come back?
Yeah, or if you have to pee in the middle of the night and your left arm, you're on your left side, ladies and gentlemen, for our audio listeners, and your left arm falls asleep, you can't get out of bed.
Dude, no.
You literally can't roll out of bed because you can't stiff arm yourself up.
Is this permanent?
Yeah,
That's the first thought that goes through your head.
Very scary.
This is I'm never gonna get circulation back in my arms. Now I have no arms.
Because like if you're sitting, like I get it in the podcast sometimes, but I get the tingles. Like, all right, my leg's falling asleep. When you're sleeping, you're probably in that position for like 6 hours. Your arm's dead.
Dude, there's no blood in your arm.
It's literally dead. But my pillow idea is like a body pillow connected to your top pillow, like kind of those pregnant-ish lady ones or whatever.
Yeah.
Except there's a hard tunnel for your arm to go through.
Oh,
like
they make those.
I know, but I saw it too. I've had this, I swear.
My wife had one. They are not comfortable.
So I've had this idea, I swear, for 25 years.
Just soaked in sweat.
Yeah, that too, and how they market it's shitty. And then it has to be a good combination of stiff pillow and soft pillow, which they don't do. Like you need a bottom layer of stiff to hold the structural integrity, and then a top layer of soft, but I think they're all really hard. I don't know, but something needs to help.
Well, we need to do a collab with Jim's cooling system mattress thing. Put it in the circular part of the.
I've bought that bullshit too. Not an electric one. I bought a non-electric cooling pillow. I'm still sweating my balls off.
What about the My Pillow?
What's that?
That's the My Pillow guy. He has the pillow where it's like a bunch of little foam squares. It's supposed to be like the best pillow.
That sounds good
in the world, according to that guy.
I'm really
crack
into my
addict to CEO.
I'm really into my sleep. Like I have a $45 therapeutic whatever eye mask.
Okay.
I spend extra dollars on my shades to keep it nice and dark. I only run my AC at night, and it's like a refrigerator.
Yeah, I have to be cool room, like 75 in my room tops.
75 is way too hot for me.
Really? 75 for me is like money.
I'm large. You know, I'm a little fat right now.
Yeah.
Every 10 pounds I gain, you got to go like 5 degrees cooler. So like, when I'm in okay shape, maybe I can do 70.
75.
Yeah, right now we're like 68.
I hate to mention the name of this company because like they sent me a thing about affiliate program, and then some weird thing happened with that, and I don't know, like it was like a weird spin-off name, and then there was a email bounce and whatever. And I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to pursue that at the moment until I have more time. But anyway, though, it's crazy because we don't have an air conditioner back there that currently works. Our heat pump died a few years ago. I mean, it works, but it blows smoke, so that's not really working, I guess. And it's holding off until we remodel back there. And this thing, you can set it at like, the last couple of days have been hot, and so I've been setting it at like 66.
Yeah,
and
probably feels so good.
And the surface that I'm sleeping on is 66, and I can put a blanket up over me without dying.
I think that's the thing. Like a pig. I have to have a blanket.
One leg out. I'm like a one leg out kind of guy.
Yeah, your leg is your radiator.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good point.
All those memes are going out like, I got to sleep with one leg out. I don't give a fuck anymore if monsters snag me or something.
That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, one leg out, head on the back now, one leg out to the side. It's kind of my new move.
I will sometimes finish the night on my back.
Yeah,
and because I have sleep apnea, I'm on a CPAP, so I can be like, I can pull the cover totally up over my head.
That's kind of nice,
and that is totally nice.
My wife's like a stomach sleeper. I can't not do that.
I used to.
Do
no
that.
way.
That fucks up your back and your shoulder.
I feel terrible. Like I just feel like I need to move. Like I feel panicked.
Years and years ago, when I had a waterbed, I could sleep on my back.
What was a
waterbeds?
What was the idea? Like, I get it was like kind of an 80s thing or whatever, but like, was the idea for it to be comfortable, to be cool,
fitting to your body?
Yeah,
right?
healthy.
Yeah. Theoretically, it was supposed to contour to your body. It didn't really work like that.
No, I heard they're terrible for your back.
Yeah, they also make sex weird.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And they're also just not very comfortable.
Yeah, I've never even been on one. I don't
remember like our neighbors' parent, like when we were growing up, like the family we'd always hang out with, like their parents had like the water bed.
Yeah,
and like we would like, because it was so even weird then. Like we'd like go sit on it. Like, oh, this is kind of fun for like a kid. And like I could never sleep on that. I don't know.
No, I need my shit rock hard.
What's surprisingly comfortable is like an air mattress.
They can be
comfortable
because you can pump the fuck.
You get a nice
They're
one.
not bad. Yeah. I got it when I was a kid because my allergies were so bad. Like, and
that makes
mattresses retain a lot, and I need it's like all new pillows and foam pillows instead of down pillows and all that stuff.
When we first moved to our first house out here, we bought like a nice bed, like our first nice bed, and it's like a hybrid, so it's like half box spring, like quality box spring, and then the other top half is like a Tempur-Pedic style.
I think that's what mine is.
It's like a hybrid. It's like right in the, and it's amazing. Love it. Like if I get out of bed or she gets out of bed, you don't even feel the other person getting out of bed, but it still has like the box spring, so it's like, I guess more cost efficient. It wasn't like as expensive as like a full on Tempur-Pedic, but it's like I wouldn't even know there was a box spring under there. Or whatever, or
I think mine's like
spring
that.
Or whatever.
I think mine's like that.
We just have the big foam pad on top of a regular like pillow top mattress. That's it's probably 12 years old now, honestly.
Yeah,
and maybe longer than that. Could be 50. I don't know. Mattresses are difficult to dispose of in the waste stream.
Oh no, you just dump it on the side of the road.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah.
Go down to Scott Road out in the middle of nowhere.
In my neighborhood, it's the turn of Elvis. Off of Folsom there. Yeah, people just dump shit all there all the time.
It's a good spot.
Yeah.
That'll get taken up by the local
campers.
Campers
out
there.
Yeah.
There's a nice little white van that's always out there that parks like in the trees. They'll snag it up.
Yeah. So anyway, though, we got this like Costco memory foam pad, and it is great for comfort, but the problem was it just retains so much heat.
Yeah.
And so this thing solves that problem. Like, it's not hot anymore. I don't wake up sweating like a pig.
Sleeping's so important. We spend, I'm 32, you're 32, right?
Yeah, about to be 33.
Like, we've been asleep for 8 years of our life.
Yeah.
So like, think about that.
You know what I do love
8
is
years.
I'd like to sleep the next 8 years of my life and not be any older when I wake up. That'd be nice.
Possible. All the grind, murder, kill entrepreneurs of the last 10 years, I love to see the trend because I'm petty. I love to see their trend over the last 2 years talking about sleep. Because like the previous
the
8
wave,
years,
the sleep wave.
yeah, the previous 8 years are like, get up at 4 or you're a pussy and you ain't gonna be successful like me.
Sleep 3 hours is all you need.
Yeah, grab coffee, get on your jet, and head to meetings. What are you doing? I've already done 8 business meetings and you're sleeping in. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, I've said it forever too. Like, this is the one thing I can like hang my like. I've said like I'm more efficient when I sleep 8 hours in 1 hour than you petty ass bitches waking up at 3:30 doing nothing. You're cloudy brained.
Yeah.
And you're getting nothing done. You're just awake to be awake.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. And your workout sucks, Dwayne Johnson at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, if you slept a little, drink less tequila, slept a little more, you'd probably be working out way better.
Well,
yeah. Well, and also he's just on so much steroids. It's unbelievable. So, like,
not
he's
to the
gonna
world,
get
though.
gains no matter what.
How's that crazy? The world still don't know. Or doesn't care? I think they don't know.
It's hard to watch sometimes.
Or Thor? They just wrapped up the new Thor.
Oh, yeah, he looks jacked.
He looks insane.
gigantic.
His arms are IFBB arms.
Yeah.
He's gigantic.
It's
currently.
so stupid. And I don't think he's short. I think he's like 6'2", 6'3". Like, he's a fucking tank.
Well, Hollywood in general is just like one giant steroid cycle. You know what I mean? Like they're all look at like even like what's his name from Batman? Not Ben Affleck, but he was probably on some sauce too for when he did.
The vampire.
The other one,
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Like that guy's been on and off sauce how many times?
You know the one I don't think was, me and Dan were just watching it this weekend, is Bane. I don't think Hardy was on anything. He didn't look that good. Go rewatch it.
You can get dirty bulky. Like, he was kind of dirty bulky. You can do that.
He looked kind of trendy for that Warrior movie that he did.
Oh, maybe
yeah.
Warrior. But in Bane, he like turned around, and I remember seeing it in like high school, I guess, right? We were probably like seniors or freshmen in college. I remember that. I'm like, oh my God, he is so jacked. And
he's
then
also like, what, 5'8"?
I know
I've
heard he's
5'8",
like
yeah.
I've heard he's like 5'6". And then he
listed
turns,
at 5'8".
Yeah, and then he turns in that thing, and he doesn't really even have traps. He kind of has turtle posture,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like he's all like
If
Warrior. He was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
If you look too close, though, in that movie, you just see all the makeup, like, pillowing up and covering up all of his tattoos, like, on his body.
Yeah. His skin looks weird.
It looks weird because it's just caked in makeup.
Yeah. This is why Mark Wahlberg got his tattoos removed.
Oh, really?
Did he get, like, laser on it?
Yeah, because if you look at, what's that? Perfect Storm?
Yeah.
Perfect Storm was the movie that he had to have body makeup over all the tattoos.
Well, we spent an extra 4 hours before shooting that to get there to cover all that shit up.
Yeah, and then sometime after that was like, I need to get rid of these.
What's his name, too? The comedian that was dating the pop star. He's on SNL.
Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about
Davidson.
getting all of his like hand tats removed.
Oh, yeah.
Because of like it's just been pain in the ass for like.
I watched like
makeup and stuff.
the little movie loosely based on his life.
Oh yeah, King of Long Island or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
This is whatever.
Yeah.
I also think he's not that funny. So
I want to like him.
know,
I
me
think
too.
the thing
I
is,
think
I
he's
want
cool.
it. I don't even like him. Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, I'm the same way with that other comedian that does like that. Did that like those little 1 minute man shows like on.
Schultz. Schultz is all right.
I think his stand up is not very good.
I haven't seen it, and it's hard to tell with all comedians nowadays. I feel like, and maybe this is again being like judgmental, but I feel like Schultz's Instagrams were so clean that like maybe he wrote a good amount of it, but he's got writers.
Yeah,
like I could deliver like
it's a
that.
Team.
Yeah, you give me that script, I could deliver just like that. Where stand up, maybe I think more. You do have writing.
He credits his team a lot though. For
That's
those
good then,
too.
Because I've never seen his stand up, but I don't know if he's funny. But he was so good on those. He was so quick.
I think podcasting has done a lot of good for comedians, but then also you end up starting to pick a side of like what part of that person you like. Do you like the podcast comedian or do you like their stand-up?
I don't love Rogan's stand-up.
I don't really like any of my favorite comedians' stand-up very much compared to their podcasting. It's so much better, but like I know that they have to hit certain points to sell tickets and to appeal to a bigger audience. They can't get as crazy and wild.
Yeah, and they think of themselves as comedians. It's kind of like us, really. We're like, I'm a coach, lifter, podcaster. Even though I like podcasting more, and if I could, but I wasn't like, we've never had like notoriety. I don't know how to say it. You have notoriety because of your podcast, but people don't know us as podcasters. People know us as like fitness folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the same with the comedians. Like, yeah, Rogan's a podcaster, but even still, he claims comedian and so does everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like his whole thing. Right?
Yeah.
That's how he became who he was.
On that same note, I was watching Tom Segura stand-up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I like him.
Yeah,
I like to hear him talk, and I think he's funny, and he's witty, and he has good conversations. And then I watch his stand-up, I'm like, You go watch some fucking. I was one of my first dark places was like 17, 18. And I guess maybe first time I dealt with depression, I started watching just an insane amount of stand up, trying to shake myself because I didn't know you don't know what the hell's going on at 17.
Escape,
dude, like the old Eddie Murphys.
They just don't do comedy
the
like that
old
anymore.
Chris Rocks, just absolutely insane.
It's the well, I think what's also hurting stand up is like the cancel culture stuff, right? It's just destroying like stand-up comedy. You can't really say and can't be like you can't just be funny anymore without people taking it too serious.
We just had Lisa Lampanelli on the last podcast, and she was like the first one to come up with that, and she said it, and I was like, I agree. I was like, your job is to entertain. Like it should kind of be say whatever the fuck you want.
The only person that's still kind of doing that, right? It's like Bill Burr. He just kind of doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like you can't I'm uncancelable. Like I'll say whatever I want. Like what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
His turn on Star Wars, on Mandalorian. He's like, it was awesome. I just did what they told me to do, and like, it's cool. And if I come back, that's cool. If I don't come back, that's cool too.
It's honestly, it's almost shocking that they even considered putting him on there.
Yeah,
and he's really good.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
and his role was great in Mandalorian. It was awesome. Like I think he delivered well. I think he fit the vibe of the show. And it's just because Star Wars has become like so PC, like like covering all bases.
Yeah,
it's like I'm shocked that they would take a risk like that.
Right,
even they're very calculated with like minimalizing risk
for
and
sure.
I think any kind of backlash. So I was shocked to see him on there, but I was also like relieved to see them like give him somebody like that, just like who is talented, letting them do their thing.
Yeah, I didn't hear a lot of backlash. You heard more backlash about stupid Elon going on SNL.
Yeah. Well, Gina Carano got totally canceled.
That's
Star Wars
then they canceled her entire series.
Yeah, they canceled.
Yeah, she was gonna have her own show.
On that
Disney Plus. Yeah, gone.
Well, I feel like this about cancel culture now. I think it happens too fast and doesn't last long enough.
Well, because no one, I think, really is after the issues. They're more just like.
So we should cancel the people who really need to be canceled.
100%.
And we shouldn't preemptively cancel people who have a little bit of shade on them from something that happened,
10 years ago,
something they said, or 10 years ago, or whatever. They're people who need to be canceled long term, which actually gets us around to this film.
Yo, what's up with our boy Jared?
Oh man,
bro. So after that, I googled Jared, and I was telling Kyle this just before. I'm looking around, and nothing really comes up. Just Subway stuff. And I'm like, what are they fucking hiding? Like, wasn't he straight convicted?
Yeah.
Like they found tapes.
Time, right?
They found tapes
still
on
in jail? Or no?
I don't know. They found tapes.
I don't know.
Though.
I think he might still be in jail.
I don't know how that. Yeah, I don't know.
They found tapes. I think he did interviews admitting how he groomed young people. Well, you Google it, and barely anything pops up. They just say Jared from Subway.
Is Jared from Subway still in jail?
That's nice.
Search.
And then it makes it even worse in hindsight, obviously, that he's hanging out with a bunch of kids in the movie.
In that movie, dude, that's what I was just gonna say. That was so gross.
Yeah,
you see him talking to it just like when you have that information, you see that, and you're like, oh, this is fucked up.
The whole movie's kind of gross.
The movie's gross.
I didn't remember how gross it was.
Yeah, we're talking about Super Size Me in case you didn't get that from the title or anything else that we're talking about here. Jared is figures prominently. He's sort of the through line. He's sort of the beginning and the end of this movie.
Yeah. There's a couple things, right? So we got
a little choppy with that. It wasn't super smooth.
No, but they mention him a lot as kind of like the golden string, the C line.
Yeah.
The main one is this dude's eating 30 days, 3 meals a day, McDonald's only, and measuring his health, which we'll dig into that propaganda. And then the other line, which I forgot about. I don't know the last time I saw this, but it was a while ago. The other line was the two girls suing McDonald's. Yeah. Right? Those are kind of the three stories that were
Which was
shaking.
Not even really a story. There was updates.
Right.
Small, quick little updates.
I think he just couldn't get the info, I guess, so they didn't make it a real story. But they just keep kind of saying it like they're still suing them. And that's it.
Yeah, it's a through line. I mean, think about it. This movie is supposed to be a little bit over a month. Right?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, the timeline is supposed to be a little bit over a month. So using that just kind of scaffold the story.
Yeah.
Not like a through line. But I just like to say up front, this movie sucks. It's really bad. And it makes me crazy.
Is it the biggest nutrition movie? It has to be, right? Like, it's huge.
Almost without a doubt, yeah.
I hate that.
At least definitely by, name recognition.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? I guess what else is there?
Yeah. No,
besides
this is
maybe
the
one about, what was that big one that came out 5 years ago, maybe less?
Not Game Changers.
Maybe that one. Yeah, I think
Game
the
Changers
vegan
last
one.
couple of
Yeah,
years.
that got because that had Arnold behind it.
Yeah, forks over knives.
True.
I honestly haven't heard that one.
I've heard of it, never seen it.
Yeah, the director of West Side versus the World was the editor on.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's a good friend, and he's absolutely believes that like vegetarian veganism kind of has its place.
Sure, everything has its fucking place.
But yeah. So
what I hate, and I guess maybe this movie set the precedent for the rest of them because it is the biggest, quote unquote, or at least our opinion, nutrition-ish video, is that there's so much propaganda and like it's so blatant.
Yeah.
Like he's measuring his health, right? Like that's the number one story. And he even says, like, I walk a lot. I live in New York. The average New Yorker walks 10 miles. I'm just going to stop walking.
He's cooking the books a little bit.
Yeah. Weird, dude. Weird your health got worse when you just stopped walking.
Was he also, like, traveling the U.S.?
I think just for random interviews, yeah. Because he went to Texas, but he doesn't really say why.
Then he went to, like, Illinois at one point?
Yeah,
I would be willing to bet that all of that did not happen in a month.
Probably, yeah.
Because there's so much intellectual dishonesty in this film that I don't trust the timeline.
Yeah.
And...
right, because... and again, like
that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know the whole thing. And Jim said it like because you watched what last week. You said it in passing to me. We try not to talk about it a lot because we're obviously going to talk about it live on air.
I always wait until like the day before we do this.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
I'm fresh on.
Yeah,
and like I don't forget anything.
I couldn't bear to watch it again.
Jim's like that thing sucked, and in my head I didn't get defensive, but I was like I didn't think it was that bad. And then I rewatched it. I'm like, this is the bad YouTube video.
Yeah,
like I could literally film it, organize
I didn't think it had much of a budget. So
yeah, but even still, literally, when did it come out? 2010-ish?
How much money is this movie?
Or a little bit older?
Oh, no, 2004.
Okay, so all right. Even still, though, like I feel like you could do a better YouTube video in 2004. Like
Maybe
better production,
so.
Pure production.
Maybe so.
Well, he did
like he's
a
fucking
handheld...
vlogging, and it's like down by his crotch, and he's looking down. Like just fucking hold the camera up. But like just like vlog 101. Don't put it down by your crotch. And that's to every Instagram. A lot of you are my friends out there too. When you guys are doing fucking Q&As and you're showing your triple chin, what are you fucking doing? I'm not taking 100 photos to like post my best lighting or whatever. Like I'm not that guy. But there is some basic shit where if you're doing a Q&A and you're answering a question, why is it like down 45-degree angle from your right eye? Just lift the fucking camera up at least eye level. Like, what do you... people with hundreds of thousands of followers that do this for a quote-unquote living.
Get a tripod.
Get
a small tabletop tripod.
Even just your hand. Like, you're so bad. You're so bad. And I'm not the king of vlogs, and I'm not the best content creator ever, but there's some basic things that you should just know.
Yeah,
and that's one of them.
I would agree with you. This movie, according to IMDb, $65,000 budget, grossed $11.5 million. 20 in the U.S. and Canada, over 20 million worldwide. And
I'm in the wrong business.
I would just tell you that the documentary that I was tangentially involved in that started filming in 05, 06 was highly inspired by this movie as well as the Michael Moore films. And this guy loved that movie.
Yeah.
And it is almost about the same level of intellectual dishonesty. To be honest,
do you think you could make that movie without that budget today? If we started today,
no,
we could probably film that. We could probably film that
so cheap
for what, including food cost. $5,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10
if you
grand.
don't have to buy the equipment.
If you already have the equipment.
If you already have the equipment.
But even still, like you can rent equipment. Like I'd say 10 grand if we wanted to travel and get some
make
sick
it look
interviews.
Like really nice and really good editing with
100%
graphic infographic pop-ups.
100%. Yeah, with Fiverr, you could get a sick infographic for $10.
Yeah, you can have someone edit. We've done videos through CK with like people on Fiverr, and they make like the dopest like YouTube pop-up
100%
stuff. Like,
no,
it's like so crazy.
There's YouTube videos that, and obviously it comes down to personal preference at some point, but so much better produced than this, and they're one-man shows.
Yeah. Well, if you think this one looked amateurish, the response video that came up, or documentary that was in 2009, Fathead.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
That's where he loses weight eating McDonald's every day.
Yeah.
Which is, I think the concept there is much less propagandized. I think I saw this once a long time ago.
You would think
the idea,
no.
Just the idea,
the basic idea, yes.
Yeah.
If you the propaganda-free version of this is what Jordan Syatt did in 2019. He ate a Big Mac a day, and he lost like 7 pounds in the course of a month.
Or even just maintain
no other
your weight.
food.
No, he just counted his macrocs.
Yeah, he was in a calorie deficit the whole time.
I think basically to kind of F you to these two that are just so.
But it's pretty different though, right? This guy was eating it for 3 meals a day, including all the sodas. And juices.
Yeah. So like even that, I would love to do and just like keep my health fine. Work out the same. You go Diet Coke instead, like little things. You go Diet Coke instead.
No sauce on the Big Mac. No
spread.
You
go no mayo.
Easily cut off like 400 calories right there.
Yeah.
Don't put the ranch on the salad. You'll lose 400 calories.
Or little tricks that like it's kind of a meathead trick, but you don't put your salad dressing on your salad. You dip your fork in the salad dressing and then you take a bite of the salad. Like so you get such minimal residue on the fork, but you still taste it. Like just little life hacks that don't fuck shit up. Like that's how I eat now. Yesterday I ate out twice. I ate In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A, and I'm down 5 pounds in the last 3 weeks. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like it's so normal.
Yeah, for sure.
But they make it seem like it's this fucking El Diablo.
Well, the theory behind this movie is that America got fat because we started eating fast food,
which is trash too.
Food. No, it's the issue is that we started overeating stuff,
just in general,
sure.
You know, and Lane likes to say hyper palatable food.
Of
so
course.
People just keep eating and eating and eating.
But you can point to anything. I could say that Ford Motors made America fat. I could say refrigeration and GE made America fat. And those
I
are
would
all
say that horses made America fat because people rode the horses instead of walking.
And you can root it all down, and those are all a factor for sure. If we had to walk or ride my bike, I ride my bike everywhere. And that's part of why I just started to lose 5 to 10 pounds because wintertime, I don't ride my bike. Summertime, I ride my bike as my main transport. I lose weight. Wow. If we didn't drive so much, you lose weight. If you just walk casually and drive, you lose weight. If we don't have the excess of refrigeration where we just have huge pieces of pizza from Saturday sitting in our fridge for 10 days that we nibble on, you lose weight. Right? Like if you have to cook your meal every day, and even if you're cooking burgers and bacon and cheese, and you can still lose weight. It's not that hard.
I'm not convinced that if he just that's not the right way to put this. I think that if he just included his normal walking routine,
it would be minimal
in the throughout the documentary, he would have not gained any weight.
Right.
Because he gained about a pound a day.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So eating McDonald's 3 meals a day, which seems like not that much weight.
Right.
But like he also probably had a decent metabolism, I'm guessing, because he was kind of a lean.
He's kind of a skinny guy.
So it's like, okay, well, you literally cut out, let's say on an average 5 miles of cardio a day out of your routine, and then you gained about a pound a day over the course of 30 days.
100%.
And like that could have been just from that alone.
My high school basketball coach, one of my first mentors, super into fitness and just a healthy dude. Played some pro baseball, just been like athletics his whole life. And he always used to tell me, and I didn't get it then as much, but he always said he's like, exercise is way more important than nutrition. And then you first dive into the fitness industry, or like I did, and everyone says like kitchen this and abs are in the kitchen. And some of that is true, but I do agree for like general health and like life that exercise over nutrition. Like everyone says like you can't outwork a bad diet. Well, like yeah, if you're eating Ben and Jerry's 8 times a day, you're not going to out jog those calories. But I agree with Dean 100% that if you are even semi moderate, with your lifestyle, or consistent even, it doesn't even have to be moderate, because no one does that. No one goes 5 pints of Ben and Jerry's 7 days a week. Right? They'll eat like kind of McDonald's and kind of whatever, and then they'll go binge on a Friday, and then they'll kind of, right? Even if you're just consistent, but you exercise, and you don't have to exercise like fucking Mike Tyson or anything.
You go on walks.
You walk a little bit. Maybe you have a resistance lifting day. Maybe you do some yoga. Maybe you play with your dog a little bit more than it's not just the couch.
Or whatever,
Anything. Yeah. Anything that's a semi-active lifestyle. And golf's a great example, like something that you enjoy. That's why I like my bike. I hate cardio. I'm not going to go for a jog, but I like riding my bike around town in a sunny
also
day.
It's like your commute because you live in a city.
100%. I get some fresh air, whatever. And it's something that I can do every day forever. It's not doing hill sprints till I die, and then you're like, that sucked, I'm not doing that again. I 100% think that McDonald's and whatever's fine. Even the nutritionists, right? They interview the nutritionists, like 70% of nutritionists say that you should never eat this stuff. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah,
fuck you.
It's all about, everything's in moderation. Of course, if you eat fast food every day and you don't exercise, you're gonna gain some weight.
Yeah, and on what
it's not
basis?
Like rocket science.
What's the basis? Because then, like, if you're talking like pure like science, like essentials, then like, should you ever have alcohol? And then yeah, nutritionists would say no, like we don't need alcohol. Sure, But like that's not the applicable conversation. We're not reading a textbook. Like, does a human need vodka to survive? Of course not. Does a human need McDonald's to live a healthy life? Of course not. But like an applicable way to live life that doesn't stress yourself out. And that's kind of where the evolution of nutrition talk in our world has come to, is the stress of you having an internal battle day in and day out of not eating nuggets less healthy than you just eating some nuggets.
Yeah, which gets us back to if it fits your macros. And
kind of, yeah. Like
whole thing.
Just having no guilt about that, which that's the biggest issue here, right, is guilt.
And that's what Jordan was trying to do with
Right.
his documentary. You know, the 30 days of Big Macs.
Right. Or when I go to In-N-Out, I don't get fries. And if I want, I get 2 burgers. And if I only want, I do 1 burger, and maybe I'll get an ice cream cone. Or like, that's like, balance doesn't mean like I eat an apple and then I eat a cookie. Mm-hmm. Like it's just kind of like
skip the bun, not because you're afraid of carbs, but just because it's less calories.
People made fun of me for doing the Diet Coke deal, right? Like, hey, I'll take two burgers of fries and a Diet Coke. Like, ha ha ha! Why don't you just do it? Fuck you. That's
because
how
I don't want to drink an extra 300 calories.
Yeah, I'm just saying no to those calories.
It tastes just as good, if not better. I actually prefer diet. So.
I do too now, and like, that's not a huge deal. Or same thing. I'll go bunless at In-N-Out and go fries.
Yeah.
Like I don't think carbs are going to kill me, but it's just like monitoring it a little bit.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I think I've seen this on TV or like on SportsCenter or some shit. Anyways, Chad Ochocinco, he eats a Big Mac every day.
Oh, no, he's a huge McDonald's guy.
He's like literally goes to McDonald's. Like it was like maybe not every day, but like he eats a McDonald's and has a Big Mac like pretty regularly throughout the week in his diet.
Just like last week.
He's one of the most athletic people on this planet that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
So it's like
he was talking shit on Twitter just last week. Someone said like humans would be better without McDonald's. Fuck, I should have screenshotted that. It was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Said something about McDonald's, like McDonald's should just disappear something. And Osha's like, I got an issue with this or something.
Yeah, because he literally, like I remember seeing it somewhere. It's just kind of one of those things you hear.
Yeah. If
you're like paying attention to sports or whatever, it's like, he eats a Big Mac every day.
Yeah,
it's part of his thing.
Is it the most nutritious thing you're going to have? Fuck no. Is it going to kill you? Fuck no.
No, The thing is that this goes back to the whole premise of the movie, that fast food is supposed to be terrible for you, and what they counter that with is Subway.
Yeah,
like Subway's healthy,
or his girlfriend's like vegan stuff. His girlfriend who he married and then they got a divorce, and there's like a line somewhere, a quote from him saying, "Shout out to my ex-wife's medical insurance for getting me healthy again." It's like, dude, what the fuck?
Well, that's
like that's like douchey times 2.
You also
know what I mean?
barely gained any weight.
Yeah,
you you had like a little bit of a slumber.
And they say afterwards, right? Like it took him. And this stuff, I don't know about the timeline. I am kind of sketchy, like Jim. Like I don't know what the fuck they're actually doing with the timeline. But this is what I tell people with strength and fitness too. Like it took him 4 weeks to gain about 25 pounds, right? Mm-hmm. And it took him 6 weeks to lose it. I'm like, yeah, that's how it goes. That's to lose strength. I took like you take like 3-6 weeks off strength. It'll take you another 6 to 12 weeks to get your strength back. Like that's just how it goes. And so like some of that timeline works, but the vegan shit, what I don't like is they just claim it healthy. Vegan's healthy, but like you make a quesadilla with all this sour cream or whatever. Yeah, like, it could be way worse than McDonald's.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And same thing with home cooked meals. Like if your parents know how to cook, I was lucky enough. My mom cooked awesome, like a lean meat or a meat and a veggie and a rice, and boom, we had that every night. But some people are just doing like a hamburger helper or whatever like that's healthier because it's made at home. Like that's the same shit.
Yeah, no, there's no difference. And even like back to like those, like when we were talking about like the school meals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some of those school meals though, I was like, man, like I remember in high school, like going up to the line and getting nacho cheese fries and a slice of pizza, and I'm like, man, like, it was good, and it was fun. Maybe this is me just being older and more educated, like, but like that's not what they should have been giving us to eat at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's the key.
That's not ideal.
I think that's the key to the whole thing. And that one interview was kind of cringe, and he didn't push that hard. He just kind of played dumb when he was talking to like the food lady at the school.
Yeah.
Is that all of it is based on education. And that's where they kind of touched it at the end, where I started to agree. He started to try to find the nutritional facts at McDonald's, which might be a national law now, but I know
now it all has to be listed. Like you want a drive-through menu.
Yeah.
Actually, by the way, I did celebrate this podcast this morning by getting a Egg McMuffin.
I should have.
At 9 o'clock this morning, after mine and Danny's little like coffee meeting we had this morning. I swung into the drive-through line.
I
got an Egg McMuffin to celebrate today.
They are good.
It was delicious.
And you can get like an egg white one now, and obviously things evolved. And I actually do think this movie probably caused some decent change. Like, who knows? That nutritional stuff might have helped. Like, a lot of people talked about this movie.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, it's kind of a social engineering thing. Number one,
Yeah.
like trying to let's not tell the absolute truth. Let's tell a story that affects behavior.
Sure,
That's an entirely different thing.
yeah.
Are you telling the truth or are you telling a story? They're telling a story here. And in most documentaries, that's true. They're telling a story.
Because you have to, right, to catch the audience. And that's obviously like where all our stuff kind of like, quote unquote, falls short. Like, YouTube's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, get the hot girlfriend, get the Ferrari, get the $1 million, and that's how you vlog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to vlog that. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to go lease a Ferrari just for shits and gigs
It's
to get more
all
views.
it's all the show. It's all
It
a
has to
charade.
be. It has to be. But what they started to tap into, even though they should have just dove in, is the educational factor of it all. Like, nutrition
Came
for
in
kids.
too little, too late.
Yeah, like the nutritional facts on the wall. All right, that's a piece. But like, he's interviewing all these grown ass people in New York, and they're like, "What's a calorie?" And no one can answer the fuck a calorie is.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
just
a
that
problem.
alone, and that's where I do kind of like. I'm happy I tried all these bullshit diets in my early 20s because they did teach me about reading labels. Like, I had a nutrition class. I went to a couple college courses on nutrition and sports performance and stuff. But until you start to apply it to your life, like I did a keto thing, and then you start to read. I know how much carbs are in every meal on the planet now because of that. Like, I'm not a huge keto guy. I don't think it's the end all be all, but it taught me how to read labels really well and understand calories and portions. And until you track your macros religiously, until you start to weigh out portions, until you take Cinnamon Toast Crunch and pour out a serving and see what that looks like, you don't know.
Yeah.
And the one nutritionist touched on that. She's like, oh, like a serving of meat is this, and most people don't know. And you go to a steakhouse, but just because a serving of meat, it's just still propaganda. Because she's like, you should only eat this deck of cards size of chicken.
Everybody's different.
Why couldn't she say like, no, it's okay to eat the large steak you get at Outback or whatever, but it's the balance overall.
Just
or
don't
whatever.
do it every single day of your life.
Right. Yeah, it can't be 3 meals a day or whatever. So like they started to get there, and 100% with the kids too. Like the kids had no idea.
Yeah.
You give your kids $10 at the cafeteria. Of course they're going to buy chips and soda.
If you don't buy weed.
Yeah, they didn't dig into that. But
And then the chips and soda.
that's the other movie too, though, right? Super High Me.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was.
I haven't seen that.
I watched
one.
that like 10 years ago too.
It's what you expect.
Yeah.
Guy getting high the whole time.
Dude's just an excuse to get extra stoned.
And he was in the Oregon documentary.
Yeah, he was.
That's his celebrity status.
Into like full circle.
Doug Benson.
This movie was on the shelf
Yeah.
in one of the scenes.
Yeah.
I think that might have been like. I remember seeing that when we watched the Blockbuster documentary. I was like, oh, there's the Supersize Me.
Yeah, I wonder if one of the producers kind of wiggles through them all or
I
something.
don't know. I just.
Well, then you had that poor girl that was talking to Jared from Subway.
Oh.
That was poor girl on multiple accounts. She was so misinformed by that Subway is her only escape from being obese.
She's like, I can't get skinny because I can't afford Subway.
I can't afford to eat Subway 3 days a week, so I guess I'm just going to be fat the rest of my life.
How wild.
That's what she thought.
Right.
And her mom just sat there and didn't know any better either to tell her, well, no, we can just feed you better at home.
We can make our own sandwiches.
And we can get our own bread. Well, so by the way, also, I'm pretty sure that this is a fact. It might be, 50%.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But that Subway either at one point or still cannot call their bread because it doesn't contain enough wheat to some other ratio to be considered like actual bread.
Yeah, I believe it.
So it's got so much sugar and other stuff in it because it's like the quick rise, the quick bread.
Yeah.
That it's technically not real bread.
I believe it.
So I'm sure
They're
we can Google
gross.
that, but it's like it's technically. I don't think it's technically bread.
The movie didn't correct the point you're talking about either. The girl literally says, "I can't get skinny because I can't afford Subway," and then the movie says nothing.
Yeah, they just kind of let it go. Like
It just goes into the next scene. Like, why don't they say?
Did Subway pay for part of this movie?
I don't know because they're so.
I mean,
nasty.
well, the $65,000. Like that's not. They could have put a bunch of sandwiches together, and that would have been $65,000.
I would put my money down that if we could get a lab to test like a chicken, and this is all new age, right? This movie's 15 years old, but like there's like an artisan fucking chicken at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I always base my fast food preferences on what actually tastes like the meat I'm supposed to be eating. Like I say In-N-Out's the best burger, and I actually don't think it's the most palatable or whatever, but it tastes like meat. of like a very fast foodie. Talk about Wendy's, Carl's Jr. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it tastes like the most realistic version.
It tastes like, I think there's
Same
meat.
with like Chick-fil-A and their chicken.
Those are the two I eat. But the chicken at McDonald's, this new one, is some kind of real meat, where I would definitely put money down that whatever Subway meat they give you is more slime than like McDonald's chicken.
Well, the Subway chicken breast is just an unbreaded nugget with literally painted grill marks on it.
It's the grossest
It's not
thing.
real grill marks. Those aren't there. That's just edible, like
black.
edible coloring.
All the produce looks like it's been dyed.
No, it probably has. Yeah, it probably has.
Like it came out of a Star Trek replicator.
Yeah, there's no way they take that in and out every day.
Yeah.
That's there for weeks.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It did nothing about it looks real.
No, it's the worst.
Having
I'll eat 100 chicken nuggets right now and be a happy camper rather than a Subway sandwich right now.
Yeah, I've had bad Subway experiences. So like when we were at Walter Reed years ago, for 6 weeks or whatever it was, like one of the only things you could get on base that was quick was Subway, and it's one of the only things that my kid Will would eat. And so like we'd go get Subway and bring it back to his room. It's awful. Oh my God, I could never. I can't ever do it again. Not one more Subway sandwich.
I worked next to, when I was in high school and like a little bit like in like early college, I worked right next to a Subway / gas station. So like it was Subway like 3-4 days a week.
Yeah.
And like I kind of really started to enjoy the meatball sub and the tuna sub.
Oh, tuna scares me.
The tuna's fire because it's just straight up mayonnaise. If you like mayonnaise, it's really good.
A mayo sandwich.
Is it really tuna? Is the question.
Probably not.
I don't know.
don't think so.
I bet you the money there, right? Because they could just buy the canned shit.
Maybe.
You're more likely to get good tuna than good chicken, I bet.
I think it's as much tuna as the Jack in the Box taco is meat.
Is Mexican.
Oh my God.
It's just like it's
no,
like
it's even less than that.
It's tuna paste.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any texture.
Two ideas.
It's like bratwurst or a liverwurst.
Two ideas that popped up in my head about this that we need to dive into, I think, is the lawsuit. Because I think the premise of the lawsuit has some validity hiding in there, or at least a discussion to be had about the responsibility of the consumer and where that lies with kids.
Yeah.
That's a recent thing that's popped up on Twitch. It's a recent thing that's popped up on YouTube. I think that you're not supposed to, if your content on YouTube is directed towards children, anyone under 18, they don't want you running ads on there because of some national, I think, lawsuit about running ads towards kids. Something of that nature. Yeah, Jim? Do you know anything of that? We can dig into another episode.
Specific ads or just
ads
in general?
I think it's ads in general.
Interesting.
Because and then the argument on television is that ads for like you're watching Superman, that the ads are actually geared towards parents to buy their kids shit. That you're not supposed to advertise to kids. Isn't that a thing?
There are certain things you're not supposed to advertise directly to kids. I couldn't tell you what they were.
But there is, and this is like within the last 2 years, this stuff's all popped up on social media type content, which YouTube's probably the most watched kids thing on the planet.
I mean, some kids don't even watch TV. They
only
watch YouTube or Twitch. Yeah.
And then the other discussion, and even there's different interviews, mini interviews. They don't touch on a lot, but like the responsibility of the consumer. Is this lawsuit good? The one lady says, well, we're not buying salads, but you can choose to buy a fucking salad at McDonald's. That's on you. And I kind of do agree with that. When you're an adult.
That has more calories than the Big Mac.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, which he dives into. Yeah. And then the other conversation, which I think we're going to have our friend Kelly Dean, you're welcome to chat with us next week too, is talking about kind of like the fit shame, fat shame conversation and how you approach that. And obviously none of us do because we're just not those type of people to go comment like, hey, you're a fat cow. But that is like a thing. Or how do you talk about it, or what's healthy, or like clothing or non-clothing or supplements, like all the marketing around that. This movie is top to bottom filled with fat shaming. Every time he's eating a burger, they're just like zooming in on fat people behind him.
The guy going to the I remember that one scene, the guy going to the microwave behind him.
Yeah.
That was, and he just kind of like gave like a look to the camera.
Yeah.
Like, look at this huge man behind me kind of
look. It's so weird. How they do it is so weird.
You couldn't do that. That wouldn't have flew past the radar.
Not even close.
Today's
and then
market.
And then like half of the B-roll is just like filming fat people in public.
Yeah, in the grocery store.
Yeah,
like,
it's just kind of weird how they do it. And that's not even my stance on the whole topic.
No, for sure.
But it's just weird how they do it.
Yeah.
And the implied impact on his health, like his fucking
Yeah.
panic attack trip to the ER.
It's like, my chest is real heavy.
And his liver enzymes being fucked up. The guy was an alcoholic the whole time.
When he talks,
okay.
Like,
See, I didn't know that.
That's why if you go, if you look at Fathead, he takes the meals that you see on screen and actually breaks the calories out. That's not 5,000 calories.
well, that goes back to
So
Dean's
he's also
point.
slamming booze behind
Yes.
behind the camera.
Yes.
But that goes
That's
back
why
to
his liver was pickling.
Yes.
that goes back
on
to
top of the
Dean's
fast
point that because the RD or whatever said that he needs 2,500 calories, and that's probably just her dumb calculation. That's probably not
I mean,
insanely
6'2",
accurate.
If you're 6'2", that seems
And
like
he's
a little low.
And he's a $185, and if he is walking 10 miles a day, maybe that's just resting, right?
Yeah.
Not the exercise.
Yeah.
But like you said, so then if he's eating 5,000, let's say it is all McDonald's 5,000, but you're walking 5 miles a day, you're going to be
yeah, you
just
said
fine.
even sometimes 10.
Yeah, you're going to be just fine,
Yeah.
right? And that goes back to that whole thing. Yeah, there's alcohol involved. What the other suspect is that it's like his third meal, and he just starts throwing up.
Yeah.
That's fucking. You're fake, dude.
I've eaten fast food 3 times in one day.
You're fine.
Didn't throw up.
A little tummy ache, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If when I was young enough, maybe did nothing.
No, when I was
I was probably
younger,
out skating around, like
running
running the streets, dude. Like
I'm playing in the championship basketball game after
Dude,
20
yeah.
nuggies.
Yeah.
But now, if I do 3-4 days, yeah, I'd get a tummy ache.
Yeah,
But
and it's like that sort of feeling of bloatedness that you just
Sure.
kind of can't get rid of because
Yeah.
your stomach doesn't know what to do with it yet.
maybe a light
But if you
headache.
ate like shitty for 30 days, your stomach might calm down and then you would gain weight.
you would
Yeah.
totally adjust to it. Your
100%.
body would totally accept it and just think of it as normal food.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to
Sure.
people, and that's why they just kind of like it's like when you first like smoke a cigarette or you first like take a dip, like you have like you get almost like a high or
Yeah.
something, right? And then like eventually that just doesn't happen anymore, but you're addicted to the food or you're addicted to the nicotine or whatever, and like your body's not reacting to it like as far as like it feeling like wanting to reject it anymore.
Yeah. I go through phases of like cooking at home a bunch, or we have a meal prep here, and then like eating out a bunch. I don't know why. It's just like whether it's schedule or budget, or one day I'm like, all right, whatever, I need convenience, and then I'll go like a week or two and I eat out ish, and I make better choices than this fool. But even in those transferred phases that aren't like, it's not going from broccoli and chicken at home to Big Mac, supersize, whatever. It's going from like last night I had a regular Chick-fil-A sandwich and a Chick-fil-A salad, right? Like pretty normal. And then last week I was eating at home and I had like, steak and some veggies. So it's like comparable foods, comparable calories. But because it is out to eat and it is probably more sodium or whatever, I go through like a little mini body transfer
Oh, for sure.
where you feel like your energy is a little
You feel
different.
tighter also when you eat like cleaner food.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
feel- even
Or-
if it's mental though, still.
But
sometimes,
even going back to the clean food, it'll feel like not good for a couple days. Like my stomach will be a little weird eating like fresh ass broccoli
Okay, yeah,
or
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not unhealthy,
Yeah.
it's just you feel different.
Yeah, well, you can be a little gassier because you're
Right.
your
Or whatever.
Your gut microbiome is not used to breaking down that stuff because you're not feeding it all the time. And there's, I mean, this is a section we should call hearsay science, but because I've read this, but I couldn't cite it. But your gut microbiome changes based on what you eat.
No, 100%.
I mean,
it
you're-
adjusts.
Yeah, it
No, go
adjusts,
back to
so,
our episode with was it with Bagley? We talked about biome
yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. No, we had a whole episode.
Jimmy
on it.
Bagley.
Yeah, and then it's
Who was a surfer boy? I never would
I
have
didn't
gotten
know that
that
either.
anyway. Going.
The only science that's up in the air is how much that effect of your biome radiates through your body. We don't know if it's like chicken before the egg before the chicken deal.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
That they're not 100% sure of, but for sure what you eat is going to mess with your stomach.
yeah.
Yeah.
And rolling back to some more hearsay science, we were talking about exercise and how it affects weight loss or weight gain or whatever. The issue is really that it will suppress your appetite some
Sure.
if you're putting energy into exercise.
Yeah, sure.
But I think, and here's my agenda. A lot of people who are overweight, they eat to regulate their anxiety.
Yeah,
Or some other
100%.
thing that's going on.
It's like a trauma response.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why
which could stay trauma or turn into a habit. Either way, like you might not be stress eating all the time, but if you stress eat or ate for a month, now you just have the habit of eating 3 burgers at night.
yeah, and furthermore, that if you tell somebody who's overweight, hey, you need to give up doing this thing, and that's the thing they find that regulates their mood and like their ability to move through life without just crushing anxiety or whatever else they've got going on. Well, of course they don't want to do it, and of course it's difficult to make that kind of change. It needs to be more than just a diet thing.
100%.
That-
Lifestyle change.
Well,
right?
that is the comparison of like like real food addiction, which probably, I don't know what the numbers they're making up, right? They said like 40% of America's fat or whatever, 1 in 4 in Texas or whatever the hell those numbers are. I bet 1 in 4 of those people are also actually have a food addiction rather than bad habits. And when you're talking something like that, that's like going to an alcoholic and saying, hey, Jim, you're going to have 1 Budweiser night, not 3. Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's not going to just change,
You
right?
like
And that's why...
You need a program, you need a step program, or you need...
Right.
Some people can do it with pure willpower, but that's a small percentage of people.
And even
right?
those ones, like if you're an actual addict, and I'm no expert by any means, but like that's why addicts don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go like, yeah, I'll just have 1 beer with you, Dean. Like they just don't drink.
You just got to cut it all out.
Right. And that makes sense. And food is a little bit different because you have to have food. You have to find a way to regulate it. You can't just say, I'm not going to
stop
eat.
Eating,
or I'm just going to eat lettuce, which is, again, dumb on his wife's part, who's not a registered dietitian. Just like, all right, we're going to cleanse you with vegan food.
Yeah, and just a ton of juice just packed with sugar, even though your insulin and sugar levels are skyrocketed.
He's going to shit his brains out.
More sugar at you.
It just makes no sense. Rather than like, and you don't think he's going to go sneak off and eat some nuggets or something? Of course he is. He's going to crave that shit forever. Like, but again, why don't we just find that balance? And balance is a hard word and it's a hard thing to understand.
Yeah.
But that education from this whole thing or propaganda from this whole thing is just so the fuck off. Like, eat greens, eat salmon only. Like, shut the fuck up.
And even looking at those vegan meals that she was making, we kind of said this earlier, but it's like these were just like just tons of fat and tons of carbohydrates. Like, that's not any better, any different. You just happen to make it yourself.
Right.
But it's still not healthy.
Right. And then this is 100% like anecdotal, but the type of person that may be vegan like her just also doesn't have a big appetite or get relief from food. So then she's just small. She just has smaller portions of her junk food, so then she's just small, and then she's like, well, I'm vegan. Like, yeah, shut the fuck up.
Or might be very active.
Sure.
Also, or might,
100%.
it's so many other things travel along with a particular dietary choice.
100%.
A thing that I'm going to promo Lane's podcast, which releases tomorrow, with his PhD advisor. It's a really interesting episode, but one of the big takeaways from it, I'm just going to spoil it right here, is that the effect of carbohydrates versus fats on your diet is different if you're in a calorie surplus or you're in a calorie deficit. You're in a calorie deficit, it kind of doesn't matter. What that mixture is, as long as protein is high enough. But when you're when you're eating too much, when you're overeating, when you're in a surplus,
A little more fat makes you gain fat?
No, it's carbs.
Interesting.
Because it's hard to eat enough fat.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Which
it's
is
easy to eat carbs like chips and
which is why ketogenic diets, some people who have success with ketogenic diets, it's because they don't eat as much because it's difficult to eat enough as many calories.
Same idea as like clean eating. Yeah, it's fucking hard to eat 5,000 calories of raw chicken breast and fucking rice.
Please don't eat any raw.
Not
chicken
raw,
breast.
like non-sauced. Plain. Raw.
Yeah, or raw.
There's people that do it.
Sushimi chicken.
That's what they need on the fucking documentary is like the raw movement.
Oh, God.
People eat raw chicken and raw steak.
I can't even think about that.
No, that's a real
that
thing.
Grosses me out hard.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
I had a piece of chicken I was going to throw on my salad for today. I grilled it the other day, and the center part of it just didn't get quite done.
Hang.
I was like,
you
you
feel
feel
like
microwave. I gotta finish this off.
The only thing I think about is Gollum eating that fucking fish out of the water, and his gums and his teeth are this raw shit.
But we've all eaten raw fish.
I know, but not like that. And when I think of eating raw chicken, I think of that. Just because Gollum's gross too.
I like my chicken medium rare.
Yeah, people do.
It's like the Boys Who Can Cook meme page. I don't know if you guys ever follow that one.
Yeah.
It's there's always people like making funny like meals like just for Instagram. It's like just like nicely like laid out like sliced raw chicken.
Yeah, looks like tuna.
Just barely like seared.
Oh,
yeah. Looks like the fancy tuna.
It's like chicken ahi style.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It grosses me out. A little bit more reality check. Subway describes its tuna sandwich as freshly baked bread layered with flaked tuna blended with creamy mayo, then topped with your choice of crisp, fresh veggies. But that's also a fiction, at least partially, according to recent lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California. The complaint alleges the ingredient billed as tuna in the chain sandwiches and wraps contains absolutely no tuna.
Well, I wonder what that's disgusting.
My God.
I wonder what the percentage is that you have to be to claim it.
I don't know.
See, I think this is the same kind of thing I heard about the bread.
Yeah.
It's like has to be like over 30% wheat or some shit.
I have that too. So Sam is feeding me this stuff. So the answer on the bread is that in Ireland they can't call it bread because it contains too much sugar.
Okay.
The country's Value Added Tax Act of 1972 says that tax-exempt bread can't have sugar, fat, and bread in excess of 2% of the weight of flour.
Oh.
So
in Subway, the sugar takes up 10% of the weight of the flour.
How about those Hawaiian rolls?
It's 5 times above the acceptable.
What, like a Hawaiian? That tastes sugary to me.
Hawaiian bread?
That's why their bread's so good at Subway, though, because it's just all sugar.
Oh, their bread texture is very Hawaiian bread texture.
It is kind of, yeah.
Because it's sugar.
Yeah, I don't mind
Their sourdough tastes like a donut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It's just a donut.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's like going to the River Cats game and
It
getting that
literally
donut
is.
burger.
Yeah, literally.
Have you guys ever had that from there?
No,
No.
I think I've had it at the State Fair.
So, yeah.
I've seen them. I've never had
At
one.
the River Cats game, you can get a hamburger with like a Krispy Kreme donut, and it is phenomenal.
We did the
just don't eat it 5 days in a row.
Yeah, or 5 of them.
Yeah.
We did a State Fair like weird food vlog like 3-4 years ago, and I just got all the craziest.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
I always think that the turkey leg's gonna be good, and then I bite into it, and I'm
It's
like,
always kind of dry.
man, this is not good.
It could be though. Like it could. I think they just don't cook it well.
It needs like a sauce or something.
That's same with all these junk food concoctions. Like I like kind of Disneyland, like kind of does a good, like a little Dole Whip deal. Like that's so basic, like a little pineapple, a little vanilla ice cream. It's like quote unquote weird, but it's so good. The State Fair goes fucking nuts frying everything, and it's just not even good.
Yeah, it all just tastes like fried.
Yeah, it tastes like a chicken nugget Oreo. Like this isn't even good.
What's the Renaissance Fairy kind of? I don't mean fair. I mean fair like restaurant where they have horses and medieval times.
Is that Vegas or something?
No, they're it's a chain. They're kind of.
You seen
You
Cable
watch
Man?
people fight in the middle of it.
Yeah,
right?
that's Cable
Yeah,
Man.
there's a- they-
Cable.
They
what's-
joust.
Cable guy. I just saw that for the first time like last year.
Oh damn,
So good.
That's a great movie.
So good.
That turkey leg is not bad, but it's
Yeah.
not good either.
But yeah, restaurant. Yeah, I mean, turkey's fine. Even turkey, we can go on forever. It's like slightly overrated, but it does look so good when it's spinning on that shit.
I cannot eat turkey like sliced, like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't.
No, I do prime rib on Thanksgiving, dude. I don't mess with
Prime
but
ribs
I'll eat
delicious.
turkey lunch meat.
Turkey
Like a smoked
sandwich,
turkey,
yeah.
like sandwich lunch meat. I'll mess that up. I just can't do sliced turkey. Like,
I do-
maybe some gravy on it to just kind of take away the taste.
That's
but
what-
like
People talk about mixing foods when, like on your plate.
Yeah.
And like, well, why do that? Like, you just throw it in a blender. But turkey is the one thing I do. I go like a little bite of stuffing, a little bite of mashed potato,
Yeah.
and a little turkey.
yeah,
and
I can
kinda
do that. I can
throw
do
it down
I
the
just
hatch.
don't like it on its own. It just makes me sick.
Did you feel like you were on the vertical diet when you did that?
I feel very jacked. I do sometimes. It's so bad. I think it's just because I've been in this bro shit for fucking 15 years trying to get jacked. Like, I'll eat like a chicken and and you even kind of said it is kind of true. You start to like eat clean for a while and you're like, fuck, I feel jacked.
Oh yeah,
Like-
no, the
And, like,
mental
yeah,
benefits.
You really
alone.
do like, fuck, I'm skinny, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
Just feel
that's
tight.
back to the psychological thing.
Yeah,
like,
no.
if you can replace the way that you regulate yourself with food with something else,
100%.
and that's, for some people that's working out and feeling virtuous about whatever they're doing. Or,
Yeah.
I mean, but I totally understand. Like, this last year has been stressful in a weird way. We talked about this last week on the show. Like, it hasn't been that hard, to be honest, but like all of my stress went into food.
Yeah.
Like, and we sort of had, we had ghost kitchen deliveries in here while we were working on the place, and I'm eating stuff that I wouldn't normally eat, and I'm eating more of it. And then it's like, all right, like, okay, so I've broken down the fast food thing and the fast casual thing, and my barricade, my personal barricade around that stuff. And it's like, all right, I can just eat this shit now, and I don't care. And then it's cookies, and then it's ice cream, and then
It is easy.
It's easy to fall off of that horse. Like, I used literally would eat fast food like once a year.
Yeah, I was there too. When I was younger, obviously I did it a lot, but then like I really got it pretty dialed in. Where like if I did, it would be like a Chick-fil-A or even though I don't know if it really is any healthier. Or
I think
not,
it
but, like,
is.
probably. It just feels more real, at
Yeah.
least less processed. But then or like an In-N-Out, like those would be my fast food
Yeah.
choices. But then like lately, like last year, I'm catching myself like swinging by like Mickey D's like I did this morning, getting that Egg McMuffin, or like a Taco Bell
Bell
or something. And it's
Taco Bell is terrible, but so attractive.
But yeah, why?
Like nothing about it is good.
Yeah, it's just so weird.
I do wonder maybe we'll even close out here. The ratios they talked about in the beginning too. They're like, he mostly did Manhattan, but he did the nation too. Like there's 85 McDonald's and there's 2 in every square mile.
I don't know how many McDonald's there are anymore.
Yeah, but then they compared it to Wendy's and Burger King. And I think definitely there's more McDonald's here in our area, but I don't think that ratio is that insane. Like there's Hello Wendy's, there's Hello Carl's
There's a
Jr.
lot of everything.
Yeah,
dude.
and then fast casual I do think is like the next thing. And like
what's considered fast casual?
like Chipotle-ish.
Okay.
And they're owned by McDonald's.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Well, they're not. Not anymore.
I didn't know that.
McDonald's had an investment in Chipotle. I don't think they own any part of it. When they were going through the salmonella thing and all that stuff, I think that McDonald's divested it. This also is hearsay, but
I don't know either. But
true.
I know they're involved. And like Chipotle tastes like real meat, and that's like a quote unquote healthy thing I do often.
Dude, I love Chipotle.
Yeah.
And at Chipotle, it's very easy to make yourself a pretty damn clean bowl.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, and also like they have the new like thing on the app. I don't know, like it's like what is this, a Chipotle ad now? But like the
I wish.
like the little like lifestyle, like kind of more fitness based bowls for like a higher carb.
Yeah, they got
like
cauliflower,
higher carb, higher protein. Like if you want like after post workout kind of bowls and stuff. It's kind of interesting.
No, I think it's great. And we're lucky we got a lot of good food here in Sac that like kind of tries to cater to that ish, you know, like. And other places are starting to, but I do think it's very typical Texas, the Midwest.
You know what Sac really needs, like Midtown, like around here, is another fried chicken place.
Dude, is that just
we have more hot fried chicken than Nashville?
Oh
I feel like things go in trends. Like when I was in high school, the froyo thing started.
Pokey.
And then pokey, and then cupcakes were a thing. Yep. There was like boutique cupcake places.
Now there's the cookies.
And then there was cookies, and I don't know if it's national or not, but we have so much fucking fried chicken sandwiches.
Dude, it's
and they're all decent, but like holy cow, there's probably downtown is what 2 by 2 square miles ish.
Yeah, it's not big.
It's tiny, and we have like 10 names that seem to be doing it.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. Some of them.
A ton of sushi. And there's a ton of fried chicken.
Sushi makes sense, right? We're close to the bay. We're kind of that vibe. Like,
poke.
Yeah. But fried chicken I don't get.
Is the poke thing I think is like kind of dead now.
I'm not a big poke guy. I'd rather eat sushi.
Huge poke guy, but it's expensive. It isn't. It is not cheap to go out for.
If you want poke lunch, you're spending $15.
Yeah.
Like that
nothing less than $15.
That's the issue with like Chick-fil-A too. If you compare it to McDonald's or something, you're like, all right, I'm going to spend double probably.
Yeah. Well, shit, dude, you can get out of In-N-Out for fucking $6, dude.
And McDonald's, you get a buffet for $10. Yeah.
That's the best thing about In-N-Out though. It's like, dude, their price is $2.95.
It's the same.
Double $2.95.
Yeah, it's the same.
Like, you can't beat that.
It really is good.
So I had the chart from 2019. Who knows what happened during the pandemic? Although fast food places, a lot of them just stayed open.
Yeah, 2019 is a decent comparison.
The drive-through market was like
went
up
huge.
20% during
and the pizza
the
market. That's something I felt like we died here a little bit. Not died, but a couple pizza spots started to close.
Yeah, you're right.
Where pizza was
there was a lot of pizza here.
Yeah.
Zelda's is still going strong.
Yeah, and Chicago Fire, and those guys are still doing fine. But like Pizza Rock closed, Hot Italian closed. A couple and we have pretty good pizza too.
I listened to a podcast, Theo Vaughn's podcast, with the Raising Cane's guy. He had
that's
he
cool.
does so what he's doing now is he'll have on like a business guy, which is super interesting.
Yeah,
you dig this.
Yeah,
you guys both would. And they had the Raising Cane's guys on. He's like, our business went up 20% during COVID.
Yeah,
with our drive-through chicken boxes, drive-through, like we're up 25% in revenue. Like
makes sense.
600 stores,
makes sense.
Crazy.
You don't want to go to the grocery store, even pre-COVID. I don't like going to the grocery store. I just don't like that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like being around that many people and like choosing. And drive-through's kind of nice. And then COVID just gave me more excuse to order online.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. We're all trapped in our homes with the most inconvenience to cook healthy meals.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But then you go do the opposite.
Yeah, 100%.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. No, I had all the time in the world to meal prep, and I didn't do it once.
Sorry.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think we had delivery at home. We had delivery like twice.
Your wife was still working though too, and you were pseudo working here. But like you know what I mean. Like because the rest of us, I think, like at least me, my routine was shit. Like it just got thrown out the wall. I couldn't even go to the gym. Like I had no routine. So then it disrupted all my routine. Where like your guys' routine was still kind of flowing.
And like living in the city, like you guys, like the Postmates fees are cheap.
Oh, and they're next door, and you get
sometimes
like good.
They're free or they're $5 for delivery. Like where I'm at, like. even like if you live in like an Elk Grove or something like that, like you're paying $12-$11 for the delivery fees, and that kind of gives you like an out. Like,
and what are you doing?
This costs more than the meal.
Yeah,
probably not going to do this.
You're not going to deliver McDonald's. Like because I'm downtown, I deliver good food.
Yeah, and it's like you can get it delivered for next to nothing.
Yeah, fuck.
And it's funny, like we didn't really mention this, but the guy that almost contradicted the entire documentary,
the skinny Big Mac guy
who's eating Big Macs 4 times a day.
They tried at the end, though. Did you see that? They tried to justify him at the end.
Oh,
at the end it says no. They said like they just in writing it says Johnny whatever the fuck hippie eats McDonald's.
Yeah, with the awesome haircut.
He's had 20,000 Big Macs. He never orders fries.
Oh, so it's the fries are the problem?
Well, what the fuck is that? Why mention that? You didn't mention that in the interview. We know nothing about this guy. You talked to him for 3 minutes. We don't know if he exercises. We don't know what 2 Big Macs a day is. What, maybe 700 calories? Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, like what else is he eating? Is that all he's eating?
That might be all he's eating. He loves the company. Let him rock. And then at the end, they justify him being skinny, but like that, basically.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
It was hilarious when his story about when he first discovered the Big Mac.
Yeah,
how he bought 3, went in his car and ate them. Then like fell in love with it, went back in, got another 3.
How did they find him?
11 o'clock at night.
How did they find him? Just out of McDonald's?
He's probably the guy that doing the documentary, just like Google or whatever they did in 2004. Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves.
Like,
it was Ask Jeeves.
What's the best McDonald's people?
Yeah.
Search?
McDonald's people interview.
That's how they had Jared into the thing.
Yeah.
Probably because he's like a usual suspect for this kind of documentary.
And they didn't like interview him either, which was weird. They just kind of like
it was all at a distance.
They kind of just stalked him. Yeah, they stalked him for like 1 clip and talked about him for 4 clips.
Yeah.
And some of it's just
he didn't even directly participate.
Yeah, why didn't they just ask him a question?
He probably asked for money.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, like, hey, you could follow me for 5 minutes, but if you want to ask me a question, it's at the grand.
And so they throw it in, and they fair use, commentary, whatever.
Fuck that guy.
McDonald's Big Mac has 563 calories.
Yeah, so 1,000 calories for that tall, skinny dude. He looked like he's 6'1", $180. But if that's all you're eating.
Okay, so you said how much? 5 what?
Yeah, 563.
Okay, 563. If I take my ass right now to Burgers and Brew and get the
100%.
guacamole, bacon burger,
a beer,
with real meat, like the full 9 thick cut of bacon, I'll guarantee you it's more than that.
Oh, no.
More calories in
that.
Yeah,
it's 800. It's 800 plus, yeah.
And it's like that's considered healthy because like you look at it, you're like, oh, this is fresh real beef. This is guacamole. That's healthy for me. Oh, bacon's good for me.
That's what they put out there, which there's nutritional value we need, right? Because they did talk about some decent stuff when they started analyzing like his stats. They're like, yeah, man, you're going to get gout. And like some of that's like some real shit. Like you need some vitamins in your life that you're not getting from McDonald's. Sure. But like, yeah, calories overall, and Lane, all our super smart nutrition friends always talk about it. Like, you get in a calorie deficit and you start losing some weight, all your health factors look better. Acutely. Everyone's.
Yeah, burn more calories than you eat.
Yeah.
That's how you lose weight.
That's how you start to get rid of some diabetes stuff. That's how you fix some cholesterol stuff. It doesn't really matter. Like, the food composition semi-matters long-term, but acutely to drop your diabetes stuff, your insulin stuff, yeah, you lose weight.
According to the nutrition facts, 33 grams of fat in a Big Mac.
That's not that crazy. How many carbs? Like 60?
44.
And how many protein? 30?
26.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not that crazy of a meal to me.
It's not that crazy if the rest of your diet around it isn't crazy.
Yeah, and it's high in sodium, and they talk about that, which is pretty much debunked.
And the sodium thing depends on who you are. Like, if you're sodium sensitive, it'll raise your blood pressure for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
And to me, that's kind of the problem with Chipotle is that everything is so salty.
Yeah, but that's that's if you have health issues. And even lifting weights raises your blood pressure too. Doesn't mean it's bad for you.
Only temporarily.
Right. Same with the sodium if you don't have genetic problems.
Yeah.
If you don't have any genetic... But when we're talking about nutrition on a podcast or in a documentary, we can't talk about the people that just are pre-diabetic. We have to talk about the masses, right? Because then same thing. Like, is sugar bad? Like, yeah, if you're diabetic, sugar's going to kill you. But for the masses, is sugar bad? No. Sugar's not going to kill you, right? And so, like, that's the big conversation that they don't dig into either. Like...
It's kind of like the same conversation that doesn't get talked about enough with, like, COVID.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Just people don't, because there is context involved. And so when you're foul swooping things, we have to talk in the most broadest terms. Like, no, sugar's not going to kill you, ma'am. Right? Like, but if fucking, what's this guy's name in the movie?
Morgan Spurlock.
Morgan. If Morgan's fucking pre-diabetic, this literally 30 days could have killed him.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But since he came in kind of healthy, like.
Well, remember you interviewed that one diabetic guy. Remember you said he was drinking like 4 or 5 liters of cola.
Yeah.
2 liters of cola a day.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Oh, they talk about them at the end.
Gastric bypass surgery.
They talk about them at the end too, that they lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
Well, that maybe, who knows the timeline, right? Because I've heard gastric bypass surgery has very bad repercussions and rebounds.
You guys ever watch like My 600-Pound Life?
No, I can't.
No.
Like, that stuff I can't handle, dude.
Well, it just they have to go through like therapy and psychological steps before they even consider them for the surgery.
Yeah.
Because like you can't just go into this. You just can't go get this surgery and it's going to fix all your problems.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's find the root of your eating problem.
Right.
Let's find out like where you are mentally with like self love or whatever and stuff like that, to find out like if this surgery is even going to do anything for you at all.
Right.
Because if anything, the surgery can just kill you, make this worse.
Yeah.
Well,
torture, literal.
Yeah.
I sat through the orientation that Kaiser does for people who are contemplating bariatric surgery several years ago, because my sister was contemplating it. And basically they tell you there is no way that you can lose weight on your own. They said diets always fail. Yeah. There's no way you can lose weight on your own. And you have to do this, but like...
The context of that sucks too. Diets fail.
The level of commitment that it takes to keep the weight off and keep yourself out of discomfort,
right,
when you have bariatric surgery, is similar to, if not worse than, what you would have to do to change your diet to lose weight on your own.
Right.
So if you were not successful over here, what's the magic that's going to make you successful over here?
Nothing. Just that phrase, and it says it is quote unquote true, like diets fail, but that's like when you're following a diet, do people stick to it for a lifetime? Like, no, because those diets that you're following out there, folks, aren't the ones that allow you to learn about food, learn about moderation, learn about a lifestyle. To say like diets fail, although factually true, learning about nutrition and learning about diet works often, and learning how to move and finding an activity that you enjoy and finding what this weird word of moderation that everyone throws around means, and learning how to enjoy yourself with one burger, learning how to have a burger today and a salad tomorrow, one beer instead of 4 beers. Like, all of that can change your life. To me, it's just the easy way out for Kaiser. It's the easy way out for coaches. It's the easy way out for nutritionists. It's the easy way out on sell a book.
Makes them a lot of money.
It makes them a lot of money, and it also makes their statistics look good initially, at least in terms of treatment of diabetics.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you can take somebody and do a bariatric surgery who had type 2, and then afterwards they don't have it, but eventually they may get it again. Yeah. If they actually figure out how to just keep packing on adipose when they're at post-surgery, and like they're working around all the limitations, the stomach size limitations and all that stuff. If you're committed to it, and like I said before, if this is the thing you're using to regulate yourself when you're anxious or you're having some other kind of psychological or mental emotional disturbance, then you're going to figure out how to pack it on again.
Yep, 100%.
That's all we got for
That's my hearsay science.
Yeah. Fuck Supersize Me.
Yeah, not
I do feel like
did not age well.
There's a sequel, right?
Yeah, that one gets real weird.
Chicken.
Is that the same guy?
Yeah, same guy. He starts to go into some like weird chicken farming thing. It kind of goes down a vegan route. I watched like half of it. I actually had to turn it off.
Yeah, and the Fathead.
Yeah.
I watched the deluxe version of that. It has a follow up a few years later. He's into paleo and it's every fad.
Paleo kind of cracks me up.
Yeah, all of it's.
That's just like just eating healthy. I mean, that's not
that
really
too.
Like.
But the argument's just how they describe it so stupid. Like, we got to do what we did 2,000 years ago.
Right,
like, go live in a campsite. They're like under a tree. Idiot.
Oh, you're telling me you just need to eat meat and vegetables?
Yeah, that's fine.
Stay away from grains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
End of story. End of book.
Right.
Like, what are you trying to sell me? On here?
Yeah. If you don't want to move a lot, drop your carbs a little bit. If you like exercise and moving a lot, eat a little bit more carbs. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm down with it.
Me and Danny, when we were doing, we're trying to get back and like getting back on track with our gas station cappuccino or whatever, but we always just made fun of diets and like talking about how it's like it's just all marketing. It's just all bullshit.
I know. That's what I ended a rant a couple weeks ago about my book where you eat 3 meals a day. You lose weight. No snacks. Don't drink your calories. You're not allowed to watch TV, and you just eat 3 meals, and you're going to lose weight.
You got to learn a lot about yourself to make changes. Like, I know for myself, if I have, Mariel actually, I heard her say this phrase is counter carbs. I just need to keep counter carbs out of my house, like a box of Cheez-Its or a bag of chips, like that sit on the counter. You walk by them and you take a handful every time. Like, you got to know things about yourself. Like, I know that if those are out, I don't have the willpower to not eat them, so I just can't have them around.
Yeah, it really
like,
is.
If I
that
care
easy.
enough, you know, like if I'm like trying to shape it up, like, but you know, sometimes I want to have them, I'm gonna eat them. Sure. But it's like, you know, I think the key, you know, full circle is just like you gotta know yourself and you gotta just regulate yourself.
Yeah, something people don't talk a lot about with diet, and they talk about it in life and like anxiety and business and whatever. They talk about consistency and routine, but they don't talk about that with food. Some of the intermittent fasting people kind of talk about it like, yeah, I don't eat for 16 hours, but they don't talk about their window.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, and I joke about the 3 meals a day, but the biggest thing is eat at the same time, eat about the same size meal, whatever that is, and the meal can change. But if it's around the same volume or around the same calories, and you do that for 4 weeks, you're going to find a habit. And you're going to be hungry around that time. You're going to crave similar foods, whether you're eating only McDonald's or you're eating only chicken breast and broccoli. Whatever you're doing, you will get used to it, and that's where you're going to start to find consistency. Because again, it's not the Friday night binger that made you gain 50 pounds. It's the everyday counter Cheez-Its. It's the everyday a beer or an extra wine or an extra burger or ordering the fries with the big Coke. If you just find that consistency in your sleep, find that consistency in your working out, find that consistency in your eating patterns, the rest does kind of fall in place.
Another thing I think, and I can't prove this, that this is not hearsay, not even science, but a thing. I think that if you work yourself toward a diet change, it's easier to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You go from black and white, and people go from eating McDonald's every day to keto. Like, yeah, bro, you're not going to stick to that.
I mean, it feels very virtuous, but at the same time, it doesn't really accomplish anything.
100%.
And if you're somebody with digestive issues, you're going to exacerbate them.
Yeah, even lifting. I mean, same thing, right? You're like, go from like, man, I haven't really lifted. Like, I'm going to go compete in powerlifting. Like, just chill. Let's get you in the gym twice a week. See if you enjoy it, and then let's go 3 times a week. And then we'll go 4, and then we'll find something in between. Oh, you want more? Okay, on your 5th day, go outside and go do something, right? We find these kind of moderate, same thing with your diet. Like, all right, I'm going to still eat in and out, and I'm not going to get a soda. Okay. I mean, that's what I tell people all the time. The basic one is don't drink your calories. Just start there. Literally start there. Go diet, go water, go something else. Don't drink juices. Don't do hella cream in your coffee. Just cut that, and we'll see in a month what we can accomplish next.
When I was competing in weightlifting, you know, I would walk around at around 190, 193 when I was like in my kind of heavier phase of like training cycles or whatever, and I would usually cut down to like 177 or whatever, or 77 kilos, like 169. So like I had a lot of extra weight, but then like once I stopped competing is when 2018 I switched to intermittent fasting. I've been doing it for now, almost 3 years now in November. Was I guess when I quit was November 28th. Yeah, so almost 3 years now. And so I just go 8 p.m. to around 12 noon is today I broke it, but I'm not religious about it. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But like 6 to 7 days a week, I'm not eating from 8 p.m. to 12.
Yeah, and you probably feel better. That's just how you function.
There's a total bombshell about intermittent fasting in that episode of Lanes from this week. Yeah. Just like, what? Oh, shit.
Yeah, maybe I'm not even doing anything that's actually working. I don't know. Probably.
Well, you're eating fewer calories.
Yeah.
That's why it works. But
and the other reason it works is it's routine. Every day you know what you're doing and you know when to do it.
The point is that there are some definite like metabolic things about fasting.
Sure.
And as you get older, it becomes more difficult to recover from the fast, and it does preferentially start to eat into muscle.
Yeah. If you're an
really skinny right now.
but you're not optimally bodybuilding. That's not your goal.
No. It's and the reason why I even did it was because I knew I wasn't going to have as much time and dedication to the training that I did, and I wanted a little extra help of keeping off like getting up to that one night, because my body doesn't like being. I graduated high school, I was 135 pounds, and I was 5'11". Like my body's just naturally a leaner type body type, and like what it took for me to be 190. Was like eating like a complete like animal and training 3 hours a day, and I wanted to kind of get back to where my body wants to be. And for me it was easiest for my lifestyle
100%.
To kind of take this lifestyle switch in my eating habits.
Again, context.
Like kind of putting in a little smaller window and just kind of like help regulate, maintain like an X amount of like body weight at all times.
Yeah.
Like walk around. I like how I feel, like how my joints feel when I'm walking around at about
sleep,
like
all that's a little better.
175 pounds for me like feels good.
That's for the context, right? Yeah, because Lane's probably talking to a bunch of competitive bodybuilders. And is intermittent fasting number one?
I'm just talking about just being able to just run around in life.
And find your routine. Yeah, you got a kid, you got to...
Yeah, just feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was actually his professor, and it was more of a gen pop thing and not a competitive thing.
But even still,
anyway,
Anyway, you're
not to shit all over your
no. And at the end of the day, it's all what works for the individual.
Yeah,
right?
it's what works for you and what you're prioritizing.
Yeah, spreading your protein out daily. That evidence shows. Yeah, you can maintain the most bone mass and muscle mass.
I've also just never really been a big breakfast guy.
Yeah, I hate breakfast. I never eat it.
It's like, and that's kind of where I was at. I'm like, okay, so I'm just missing out on this one meal that I don't normally really eat, never really had.
Again,
like,
is it worth
when I had to for weightlifting? But like,
you're not going to lose pounds of muscle.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't have much muscle mass.
Yeah, but even so, you know what I mean. Like, and again, like then you could balance the guilt or the stress of you trying to get a full meal in the morning when you don't like it and your stomach ache versus how much muscle you may lose. And you're like, well, what actually?
What
wins
are my
there?
goals? Right?
Yeah, what wins there?
All right, I'm sweltering, so let's bring this one in for a landing.
Where can people find you, Dean?
Yeah, that's at Dean Saddoris.ck on IG, and obviously we would love your looks and pick up a bag of coffee at caffeineandkilos.com.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, 3sb.co. Thanks for joining us. Every Wednesday, I'm Silent Mike everywhere you want to find us. 3rd Street Barbell. If you're in Northern California, want to check out the GM.
I am at the Jim McDonald on all the social medias. The show is 50% facts, where percent is a word, and 50 is just numbers. And we will talk to you next week.